So price is absolutely like a deck of cards being shuffled. And when you understand how the mechanic, the composite man, the real market maker, when they're running up a hand, stacking a deck, building a market structure, and ready to deal the top or the bottom of the deck, buy side or sell side, you'll know how to play the hand that you have. Betting what you can afford to bet and ante up on. If you can't afford it, can't ante up, then you just watch it, you study it. But we're not looking at price and when it moves like, oh shit, where did that come from? Oh, that was surprising, look at that. Have you ever heard me remark like, wow, shit, I didn't see that coming? Yeah, you're gonna have the same thing occur every time we do our live streams. It's boring. It's fucking boring. And I'll say this in closing, because I have a couple minutes left and you thought I was going to go over it, didn't you? Why isn't ICT a fucking billionaire? If he's the smartest person in the world, which I don't claim to be. I've never said that. Why isn't ICT a billionaire? Well, first of all, none of you know my net worth, and I don't make it my business to tell anybody my net worth. And it's irrelevant anyway. But if a card counter is discovered in a casino, does the casino invite them to sit at their table? No. As much as you believe that these markets are free, they're not. They're controlled, and they should be. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not vilifying any of it. But you shouldn't be afraid of it. You should be thankful it's rigged. It's good. It's a good thing that it's rigged. Because if it was really free, the folks on Reddit would have crashed it a long time ago. But you've seen how silly that was, wasn't it? I have handlers. I'm allowed to do certain things and a longer list that I can't. So you see me doing what I do. Demo, no problem. I got no problem. I got no problem teaching you on a demo account. I got no problem teaching the way I teach. I see no limitation in it. And I allow the ill-equipped, mentally deficient individuals that want to just say, if he was doing this and doing that, I let them have those arguments. And I toy with them out here on Twitter. And I snidely remark in passing in my videos. And that's my way of letting them know I don't give a fuck. You still can't come close to this. And anytime I want, I can make millions of dollars. Anytime I fucking want. I am doing this because I love doing this. And it's partially a vendetta. And that's as far as I'll mention in that regard. But if someone says I can't walk on the fucking grass, I'm gonna moonwalk all over that motherfucker. And while I may not be allowed to play at the table, I'm bringing a whole lot of motherfuckers all around the world to play.
You were considering choices in your life. Did you feel like your choices were objective, free from outside interference, entirely of your free will? When we're children, we're told we can be whatever we want to be. Whatever we choose to set our hearts after, we can pursue that. Some choose to be doctors, some lawyers, some even athletes. As a young person, they pursue that life's ambition, albeit for a college education, or through their athleticism, they pursue that purpose in life. The others may merely exist between the past and the future, never really getting anywhere. Most of these ambitious people are able to secure gainful employment, able to meet life's minimum requirements, shelter, renting a home or purchasing a home, raising children, providing food for their family, but life becomes pattern, early to bed, early to rise, for work. However, they soon realize they have too little time. Time for their spouse, time for their children, and no time for themselves. They may have the success of employment, the minimum creature comforts, but they become aware that they have a lack of freedom. Slowly, time takes its toll and depression slips in. Here we have professionals, and they are no different from the others. The others who didn't have college plans, no clear paths for life, no athletic prowess to carry them into opportunities. Eventually, time has a way of sifting folks into the same place. Slavery of your mind. Sure, there might be some of you listening to this and thinking to yourself, well, this doesn't apply to me. And my response would be, wait and see. We're all being led to believe we have choices. Choices to be whatever we want to be. How many become these things? Their position in life, only to discover that they really don't enjoy it after all. We're told to go to school, get an education, and that sometimes means going to college, going into debt, then getting a good job, investing in your IRA, trust the system, buy a house, pay on it for 30 years, have equity for your retirement, raise a family, pay your taxes, and accept this as success. The American dream. What if your choices weren't really your own? What if you were lied to, convinced that life would be good if you just followed the path laid before you? The rat race, or it's so commonly called. The others understood the risks of choosing to pursue the wrong path in life. Unfortunately, this paralyzes them, and they just plod through life, wasting time. They work dead-end jobs, work for next to nothing, but they tell themselves, at least I didn't waste money on college. Both groups are victims. Both convince themselves it is what it is, or that's life. Gradually, growing older and more regretful by the passing years, choices. We all make them. Every day, we make them. I'd like to try an experiment. If you would just give me your undivided attention for a few moments, if you're doing other things while listening to this, just for a moment, just stop and listen. You in the audience, ladies, I want you to think of an even number between 1 and 10. Gentlemen, if you would please think of any odd number between 1 and 10. I'm going to list some descriptive words in a numerical list. The number that you thought of, I want you to remember the descriptive words associated with that number. When we get to that number, remember the descriptive terms. This will be important later. Number 1, precious metal. Number 2, yarn. Number 3, cutlery. Number 4, golden in color. Number 5, highly polished. Number 6, a ball. Number 7, sharp. Number 8, a cat's toy. Number 9, hand tool. And finally, number 10, round. All of you have some descriptive terms. Now I'm going to list some random objects. Match your descriptive term to the most likely object that fits. Gentleman's top hat. Blue felt tip pen. Postage stamp. Carving knife. Yellow ball of yarn. Oil painting. Antique clock. Horse-drawn buggy. Caribbean island. Old dusty book. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you would please stretch out your right hand and hold it in front of you. In your empty hand, I want you to imagine the object that you matched your descriptive terms with from the random list of objects that closely